A girl was forced into blind dates 365 days a year, but this time she mistook a billionaire CEO, who was waiting for someone, for her date. After seeing the CEO's handsome looks, the girl sighed, thinking, this time, the dating website finally recommended a good match. She even guessed that it was probably her mother who paid for the membership. She then sat down and began introducing herself. Seeing how beautiful the girl was, the CEO decided to go along with the mistake, and pretended to be the blind date guy. He lied, saying he had no money and no house, but the girl said she could earn money and didn't care about anything the CEO had. She then took out her household registration book, and said she was ready to marry the CEO anytime. Looking at the girl in front of him, so different from the gold diggers who only care about wealth, the CEO immediately developed a good impression of her. When the real blind date guy finally arrived at the cafe, afraid of missing out on such a good wife, the CEO dragged the girl straight to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get married. To hide his identity as a wealthy CEO, he had to stop living in his villa, and rented a small 3-bedroom apartment. Even his Rolls-Royce was replaced with a second-hand van. But when he saw his wife working hard under the sun to support the family, the CEO couldn't bear to see his little wife struggling, so he had his assistant post a recruitment notice, and informed the HR department to announce the job opening for a designer the next day. The job requirements were lowered to a high school diploma, just to bring the girl into the company. But when the girl received the interview notice, and happily went for the interview, the uninformed interviewer looked down on her. Seeing her high school diploma, the interviewer immediately prepared to reject her. But just then, the CEO's secretary arrived just in time, and made an exception to hire her. The girl happily called the CEO to tell him the good news, but on her first day at work, she ran into her ex-boyfriend. When her ex-boyfriend saw her, he immediately accused her of stalking him, and arrogantly said that she would apologize eventually, and was just playing hard to get. But the girl didn't bother with him, and turned to walk away. However, her ex-boyfriend angrily grabbed her hand, and even forced her to divorce the CEO. At this crucial moment, the CEO appeared. He pulled the girl behind him, and warned the ex-boyfriend to leave, or he would regret it. The ex-boyfriend ignored him, and tried to expose the girl's character, but the CEO didn't believe him, and directly threw the ex-boyfriend into the car. Just when they thought it was over, the ex-boyfriend called the police, claiming the CEO had hurt him. The police took the CEO to the station, and the girl, in a panic, called her friends for help. But to have the police release the CEO, the organizer had to agree to a settlement. Helpless, the girl had no choice but to approach her ex-boyfriend. But the ex-boyfriend wasn't going to let the CEO go. Instead, he pressured the girl to deceive the CEO, and steal his $1 trillion fortune.